First responders act on every dispatch with alert, having to stay composed through the intense traumas that come with their duty. But how do they deal with the mental strains of the job?
You have everything from helping an old lady at a car crash to going and apprehending somebody that's got weapons and is looking to do harm on a wide variety of people. And so being able to compartmentalize and process and rely on your training and fight through those situations and then go home safe every night, that just there's the repeated trauma that comes with that, with mental health, is what we see giving first responders difficulty later on in their careers. I just think we have a perspective on society and humanity that lots of people don't want to process. And so being able to still see the good in people, even though you see terrible things, is like a reality of the life we live. You can get folks that will disconnect from society in general, law enforcement that's not interested, fire as well, that's like, yep, I'm good. You can see that in nursing staff, you can see it in a variety of folks that deal with kind of the same demographic of people.
We never know what the problem's going to be.
One of the calls that I was on, there was an ice fisherman that didn't report back home, so they didn't know where he was. So there was a big lake out on the west side of the county, so we took that out and just drove around the lake, just looking for problems.
I always try to respond to the worst case scenario and then hope that it's not that when you get there and it's a little better.
We didn't find anything. He ended up being at a neighbor's house. They were, having a good time ice fishing. They were shooting the bull and just worried about him, which is okay. So
people don't know what to do. They call the fire department, and the police department's kind of right in that same bucket. So we face cats in trees is a real thing, but we also face kids that have passed away and their parents who are dealing with that last minute tragedy in their life. And you not only have to take care of the patient, who we don't know if will make it or not at that initial time, but you have to take care of the family member who is now also part of your scene, to the older couple who one of them passes away and now that person's faced with they've lost their companion. So there's many aspects of challenges of how you get around those things, but no matter what, we're human. And if we treat people like they're a human and just show a little bit of compassion, it goes miles. And it even, for me mentally, it goes miles for me to show them compassion. I've cried with families before. It's just been overwhelming with all kinds of joy and sadness at the same time. And that brings peace to me to know that I'm doing the right thing.
It's just not odd anymore to come alongside a teammate and be like, hey, how you doing? What are you fighting through right now? Have you thought about these things and kind of help corral them back on the road, and those are, when you can help those people. We do that with the public all the time. Why can't we do that in our building kind of deal? And that's where our hearts are just we got to take care of us too, as well as we take care of the community we serve.
If we never got to express ourselves the way we needed to, it would be weird for a police or firefighter to show up and cry with you and not be able to perform, right? So we may cry, right? Because we're human, but we do need to be able to compartmentalize that for a moment and deal with the situation. I go back 22 years ago. I found a victim in a structure fire, and at that point, there just wasn't any real peer support, and so that is an example of where I could have used it then. I've since been able to talk to people, our peers. We're a family, so we have 3 people on a shift, and we work 24 hours a day. So we get to know each other intimately, and that's a benefit. Can have its drawbacks, but it's a benefit because we have someone we trust or people we trust that we can say whatever we want, and we know that the context of it is going to be safe.
We're super glad that it's becoming less of a taboo topic and more folks are open to this. It's not a very common thing that's talked about, but we're looking to make it more normal. Again, it's for our people, for our teams, for long-term success of our employees. we very much want this to be an easy discussion at roll call and topics that we can help our guys be healthy for a long time.